there's a French band as brassy as one of our own, beating it out for the marching men of France. And now into the square comes an American unit, one very much on duty, here in a tribute to a great ally and a great day. All are silent as the Marseillaise rings forth throughout Orléans. And then, into the heart of town, yes, and into the hearts of Frenchmen who line the streets, march the men of Camzy, paying their respects to the memory of Joan of ARc. The parade is over, but the festivities continue on throughout the city. An off-duty soldier may very well run into a street carnival. He feels right at home. The same music, the same kind of kids having a great time, the same atmosphere of fun and frolic. And they even have many of the same kind of rides as the carnivals back home. So why not go all out in one of the midget hot rides? And there are always beaucoup souvenirs to send home to mother and dad. But when it comes to a furlough, a stretch of time off time, the soldier in France will always head for Paris. There's no end of sights to see, left bank or right bank. The soldier in France will do the town from top to bottom, and no better place to start than the top of the Eiffel Tower. Luckily for him, he won't have to climb. There's an elevator on hand to speed him upward. Going up, and as the elevator rises in the sky, you get a view through the framework of one of the world's most beautiful cities. The view stays with you on the way down, and it will stay in your memory a long, long time. Nearby, another sight familiar throughout the world, and the Camzy soldier on furlough wouldn't dream of passing it by. The Arch of Triumph, a monument to victory, a memorial to the men who died in its quest. His leave over, back to duty. Whatever his rank, from general to private, the soldier in France is not only assuring a line of communication to our troops, he is working side by side with his French ally. He is friendly with the French, and the French are enemies to him. For the men of Camzy realize that this part of their job, working with the French, is an extremely important one. Toward that end, on commemorative occasions throughout the year, just as much a part of things as the speeches and the parade of troops moving down past the reviewing stands are the frequent exhibitions of American Army equipment and techniques, and French citizens are cordially invited. A model of a bridge, especially when a youngster walks carefully, very carefully across it, may seem a long way from Camzy's basic business, but it is all part of the all-out effort to maintain close, friendly, sympathetic relations with French people who are not only interested in our techniques, but in our welfare as well. So that is why on many an American holiday, you will see Americans march proudly down the streets of a French town. And you will see French people, young and old, watching with respect and a sense of pride. Yes, they watch the men who man the supply lines, the men of Camzy, today's soldiers in France.
That is why our soldiers are in France today, to provide the strength that will help the Western nations repel any hostile attack on free Europe. This is Sergeant Stuart Queen, inviting you to be with us again next week for another look at your Army in action on The Big Picture.
The Big Picture is a weekly television report to the nation on the activities of the Army at home and overseas. Produced by the Army Pictorial Center, presented by the United States Army in cooperation with this station. You too can be an important part of the big picture. You can proudly serve with the best equipped, the best trained, the best fighting team in the world today, the United States Army.